the Watergate building in Washington, this is Hotline TV. Now here are Hotline editors Amy Walter and John Mercurio.
Welcome to Hotline TV, everybody. I'm John Mercurio.
And I am Nora McAlvanah.
With another installment of Target Hillary. Okay, Hillary has been pilloried quite a bit over the past week, if you will, over several different issues. We've got Plantgate, of course, the story of her campaign planting. A question.
Very creative there.
Isn't that, you like that? Plantgate, not to be confused with Plamegate. We've got John Edwards saying that he is not, or declining to say whether or not he would endorse her as the Democratic nominee, but saying that if he is elected president, he'll take away her health care coverage. Something we can talk about. We've got Bubba in South Carolina playing the gender card, talking about the guys beating up on his wife. And of course, it's old news by now, but we've got the JJ dinner from Saturday night in Iowa. Nora McAlvanah, you cover Hillary Clinton better than any journalist in America today.
Sorry, Glenn.
Exactly. Sorry, Glenn. How can Hillary Clinton survive this scandal, this deepening struggle within her own campaign?
You know what, and I don't know if you'd agree with me on this. It's sort of all, you know, been a steady decline, or you know,
for her or for the Democratic other candidates?
No, for her. Since the debate. Sure. But I'm curious to know your opinion about this. I was talking to a few other people about it. Does she want this storyline over and done with now? You know, it's been, she's had so much positive, it's all sort of been an easy road.
You know, that's a good point. In a way, you could actually argue that this is exactly the right time for her to have sort of a campaign implosion. This is about the time that John Kerry's campaign exploded, that he fired Jim Jordan as his campaign manager and sort of moved all of his resources out of South Carolina, put them all in the Iowa basket, if you will.
Right.
So it's not too late for her. She's got 51 days until Iowa. It's not too late for her to sort of regroup, reconnoiter, and recalibrate what sort of candidate she wants to introduce herself as in Iowa.
I guess the big question is, there's no, and you know, this is obviously going to be for the voters to decide, there is no one on Hillary. So
well, there's two. We've got Obama and Edwards, both of whom I think are taking very different, each of whom is taking very different tacks to be the anti-Hillary.
I guess the question is, do they cancel each other out? And who is the better on Hillary?
Right, and who is the, well, you know, who's the more aggressive on Hillary is definitely Edwards. You know, who's the un-Hillary, like Obama claims to be, who would sort of, you know, move us past the politics of personal destruction, the politics of partisanship. You've got Michelle Obama out today on MSNBC saying that, well, all the press wants us to do, the only way they say we can win is if we kill her, if we tear her up, and rip her apart, and Obama's wife saying that's not the kind of campaign we're going to run. So
right, to John Edwards.
Right.
Love Michelle Obama.
Right.
But I think the one last thing I'd be curious to get your opinion on is, now what do they do with Bill Clinton? He obviously has not been helping them out.
Right. Well, they can't really hide him in a closet.
I mean, you're Mark Penn. What do you?
Look, I think that you're right. He's had a few stumbles. He had the Swift boat comment, and then he, of course, had this little playing the gender card a week after his campaign denied that they were really distanced himself from that strategy entirely. You had him wearing the pink Oxford shirt, which I loved. They were like Teletubbies. It was like him in pink and her in bright blue. Like, message, she's the man, you know.
Right.
And but I forgot my train of thought. Look, no, I think he still remains.
What do you do with him?
He still remains. He still remains an asset. You know, I think he still remains very much an asset, especially in fundraising. Not so much on message as on his ability to raise money. But in a Democratic primary, the idea that you're going to hide Bill Clinton from the voters in the final days of this race, I think, is lunatic.
Right. I think, you know, he did wind up saying something that sort of got some negative media coverage in terms of that boys thing, but he was in South Carolina, and
you know how that drawl comes out for Bubba?
They went crazy over him. Little small place in South Carolina. It was just his crowd there. So. All
right, good stuff. Good stuff from Nora McAlvanah and myself, if I do say so myself.
Not bad.
We'll see you next time on Hotline TV.
Thank you for joining.